Hello everyone, welcome back to Next Leap. If you're here today, chances are you've felt it, that awkward silence in conversations. That frustration when you can't express what you really mean. Or that moment when things go wrong simply because of miscommunication. And here's the truth, communication is not just a soft skill. It is the skill that shapes your career, your relationships, and ultimately, your life. Today, we're going to dive deep into one core idea. Your ability to communicate determines the quality of your life. Part 1. Why communication matters more than you think. Let's start with something simple. Think about your day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. How much of your time is spent communicating? Talking to colleagues, messaging friends, explaining ideas, handling conflicts, even scrolling and replying online. Roughly 60% of our daily time involves communication. Now imagine this: if most of your life is communication, and your communication is ineffective, then your life, by default, becomes inefficient, stressful, and frustrating. That's why communication is not optional. It's foundational. Part 2. The hidden cost of poor communication. Most people underestimate how damaging poor communication can be. It's not just about awkward conversations. It shows up as missed opportunities at work, tension in relationships, being misunderstood or ignored, feeling isolated or excluded, constant internal frustration, and over time, it affects something even deeper, your mental and physical health. Have you ever noticed how your body reacts after a conflict? You feel tense. You can't focus. Your mood drops. That's not a coincidence. Unresolved communication leads to emotional stress, and emotional stress impacts your health. So when we talk about learning communication, we're not just talking about talking better. We're talking about living better. Part 3. Communication builds or destroys your confidence. Here's something most people don't realize. Your confidence is not built in isolation. It is built through interaction. You don't decide whether you're likable, smart, or capable. Other people's responses shape that perception. If your communication goes well, people respond positively. You feel understood. You gain confidence. But if your communication fails, you feel rejected. You doubt yourself. You withdraw. Over time, this creates a cycle: good communication, confidence; better communication, poor communication, insecurity, worse communication. So if you've ever thought, "I'm just not confident," that may not be the root problem. The real issue might be you haven't learned how to communicate effectively yet. Part 4. The link between communication and happiness. Let me share something fascinating. There was a long-term study that tracked people for over 70 years, trying to answer one question: what makes a happy life? The conclusion was surprisingly simple: good relationships lead to happiness, not money, not status, not achievements, relationships. And what builds relationships? Communication. Another study showed that the happiest individuals are those with rich social connections. But here's the irony: in today's world, we are more connected than ever. Yet many people feel more isolated than ever. Why? Because digital interaction is replacing real communication. We text instead of talk. We react instead of connect, and slowly, our ability to communicate deeply is declining. Part 5. Communication determines your success. Let's talk about something practical: your career. No matter what industry you're in, communication plays a critical role in job interviews, promotions, team collaboration, leadership. You can be hardworking. You can be technically skilled, but if you cannot communicate effectively, your value will not be fully recognized. I've seen this happen many times: people who work overtime every day, but struggle to express ideas clearly, or unintentionally offend others. Eventually, they hit a ceiling, not because they lack ability, but because they lack communication skills. On the other hand, people who communicate well build trust faster, resolve conflicts better, influence decisions, stand out naturally. Communication doesn't just support your success, it accelerates it. Part 6. What communication is. Not. Now let's clear up some common misconceptions. Many people think, if I talk a lot, I'm good at communication. If I say nice things, I have high emotional intelligence. If I give advice, I'm helping others. But none of these guarantee effective communication. Let's break it down. Talking a lot is not communication. Being overly agreeable is not communication. Giving constant advice is not communication, because communication is not about you talking. It's about mutual understanding and shared outcomes. Part 7. What effective communication really is. So what is effective communication? At its core, it has 3 key elements. 1. Clarity. Can you express your thoughts clearly and simply? 2. Connection. Do others feel understood and respected when talking to you? 3. Outcome. Does the conversation lead to progress, agreement, or resolution? True communication is not just pleasant. It is purposeful and effective. It creates understanding, trust, results. Part 8. The 5 core skills you need to master if you want to become a strong communicator. There are 5 key areas you need to develop. Point 1. Confidence in communication. Everything starts here. If you're not confident, you hesitate. You overthink. You hold back. Confidence is the foundation. Point 2. High emotional intelligence. Speaking this means knowing what to say, how to say it, when to say it. It's not about being nice. It's about being effective without damaging relationships. Point 3. Listening skills. This is the most underrated skill. Most people don't listen to understand. They listen to respond, but real listening builds trust, reduces conflict, improves clarity. In fact, if you master listening, you solve half of your communication problems. Point 4. Expressing feelings clearly. Many communication issues come from this. People don't know how to express what they feel. They either stay silent, explode emotionally, or communicate indirectly. Learning to express feelings properly allows others to understand you to understand yourself. 5. Communicating under pressure. This is where most people fail. Think about situations like conflict with family, disagreements at work, giving difficult feedback. When emotions rise, communication breaks down, but high-level communicators can stay calm, stay clear, stay effective even under pressure. Part 9. A simple reflection exercise. Before we wrap up, I want you to do something. Take a moment and ask yourself, where do I struggle most in communication? Is it confidence? Is it expressing myself? Is it handling conflict? Is it listening? Because here's the key, you cannot improve what you don't understand. Clarity about your problem is the first step toward growth. Final thoughts. Let me leave you with this. Communication is not just a skill you learn once. It is a lifelong practice, and the return on investment is enormous. Better relationships, stronger confidence, faster career growth, greater happiness. If you master communication, you don't just change how you speak, you change how you live. In the next session, we'll go deeper into the first step, building true confidence in communication. I'll show you exactly how to shift from hesitation to clarity, and from self-doubt to presence. Until then, start observing your own communication patterns, because awareness is where transformation begins. This is Next Leap, helping you communicate better, think smarter, and live a better life. I'll see you in the next video.